Welcome to episode 2 of the City of Leavenworth podcast. Once again, Paul Kramer here with our Mayor Mark Preisinger. On today's episode, we'll have some information about some police enforcement activity that's been going on in the City of Leavenworth, specifically related to drugs. Sidewalk program update. Work's getting ready to start on that. A brief update on a project we mentioned in episode 1. That'd be the federal projects that the City of Leavenworth is pursuing. And then finally, we'll finish off with a special event that's going to happen at the end of this month. So let's start, Mayor Preisinger, with some activity that went along in the 900 block of Kiowa on Friday. I think that reached about 9,000 people on Facebook, generated 4,500 clicks, and garnered 300 reactions. What do you know about that?
Well, Friday's raid was the third or the fourth raid in the last few months. Generally, the information for the raids has been collected over a long period of time. These are things that do not happen just overnight. The extra funding for drug detectives that the City Commission put in the 2018 budget is beginning to pay off. 2 dedicated drug detectives came on board in January, and this latest raid is a direct result of those detectives and the PD's work. There's still a lot of work to be done in drugs and crimes in Leavenworth, but Police Chief Kitchen has briefed the Commission on the progress, some of which isn't public information, but we expect these type of enforcement actions will continue. We understand the concern in the city. We're working on the problem. The PD is working on the problem and help with other agencies. This is an issue that we are addressing.
Yeah, this is maybe one of the top 2 or 3 things that we hear about regarding public safety, and I think that resources have been put in that direction, and it's a big problem, but one that we continue to work on almost on a daily basis. The next project I want to talk about is the city sidewalk program. Road work has all but completed in the city of Leavenworth for 2018, but sidewalk work is just about to begin. So the sidewalk program, let's talk about that and what's going to happen this year.
Well, the City Commission puts in, this year we're going to put in about $380,000 in the sidewalk program. This comes out of the countywide sales tax, about 15% of the city's share of the countywide sales tax, once again $380,000. There's a sidewalk advisory board. It's a citizen advisory group, and about 7 members on it. They're the ones that get down into the weeds, go out and study all the sidewalks, decide, make recommendations to the commissions which sidewalks need to be repaired, which ones need to be updated, which ones need to be new ones need to be constructed. The way they prioritize it, number 1 is they want to connect existing sidewalks. Number 2, areas around schools are of big importance. 3, creating walkable routes throughout the city. And 4, ADA accessibility and other general improvements. So these are big projects, and if you know any members on the sidewalk committee, you'd like to talk with them, please contact them. Their names are available on the city website, the members of the sidewalk committee. They do great work, and they do a lot of work. It's a tough job, and we thank them for all that they do.
Okay, let's talk about the locations where work's going to happen this year. I know it's sometimes hard to place geographically when you're hearing it on the radio, but we'll go ahead and also put a map on the city's website to show you what's on the agenda for 2018.
We have 7 locations where we're going to put in new sidewalks or improve the existing sidewalks. The first one is the area around North Broadway School, the former North Broadway School, which is now being turned into lofts. There will be sidewalks around the 4 sides of North Broadway of the school or the lofts. And on Pennsylvania, from 2nd Avenue to 7th Street on the south side, and Marion, 10th Avenue to Grand on the south side. This is on the south side of what most people refer to as the south parking lot of Leavenworth High School. It'll be on the other side of the street there. From Marion, from 10th Avenue, probably about to the football stadium. And we have money left over. We have an alternate that we'll add in. That will be on Grand Street from Sherman to Vilas on the west side. And that goes in front of the tennis courts, goes south from the tennis courts at the high school down to Vilas.
Yeah, and again, we'll put that map on the city's website so you can see where those are visually. Another project we talked about last time, but I want to give a quick update to, is the big federal project that the city of Leavenworth is applying for. So, Mr. Mayor, if you could talk about that project and maybe some progress we've made over the last couple weeks.
Oh, thank you, Paul. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA, is seeking a headquarters site locations for both the National Institute of Food and Agriculture and the Economic Research Service operations. These could be at separate sites or it could be co-located at the same site. Altogether, this amounts to 600 employees. They're looking at moving into these locations. We, the city, have been in contact with both Senator Moran and Senator Roberts, our U.S. senators from Kansas, and hoping they can provide some support in the process. Very interesting to note that Senator Roberts is the chairman of the Senate Ag Committee, so I don't know that he can't make the decision, but hoping that he can help us out on possibly getting a look at this. This is a long-term project. It isn't something that's necessarily going to happen overnight, but we have submitted the required data for phase one of consideration for this project. Interesting to note, we would not even have been able to apply for this project without the new business and technology park. And once again, this is a long, competitive process. But we've reached out to our federal delegation. We'll do everything we can to bring the projects to Leavenworth. 600 federal civil service jobs would be a big boon for Leavenworth.
And this is a good time, I think, to give some appreciation to the USP Leavenworth, Fort Leavenworth, and the VA, all for providing letters of support. One of the aspects that they're looking for in this project is communities with existing federal entities, and I don't know that anybody in the Midwest can stack up with us on that one.
Leavenworth is a federal town. We do government well, whether it be state or federal, and we think this would be just a natural location for it, and we're hoping we get some good news in the future.
Well, let's close today with some good news. An event at the end of this month that's specifically appropriate given where we're recording this podcast today, something that moved back downtown last year after many years out on 10th Street.
Well, thanks again for Leavenworth School District for hosting this podcast and letting us use their facilities for it. The homecoming parade will be downtown Leavenworth on Friday, September 28th. This is the high school homecoming parade. Starts at 2 p.m. It starts at Haymarket Square, moves north to Delaware, then goes east down Delaware to the community center. We expect it to take approximately 45 minutes. This is the second year that LHS has brought the homecoming parade back downtown. We're hoping that it continues in the future. It's great for downtown, highlights downtown, great way to celebrate Leavenworth High School and showcase the downtown. And that night at 7 p.m. at the football stadium is the homecoming game, and it's Leavenworth versus Lansing. So there should be a big crowd there, and I'm sure that many of us will be there and looking forward to another Leavenworth win.
And with that, that concludes episode 2 of our City of Leavenworth podcast. We do this for the citizens of the City of Leavenworth, so if you have any suggestions, any topics you'd like to submit for the mayor and I to discuss, please let me know. Reach out on our website. All of our contact information is there. Once again, thank you for taking the time to listen. We're trying to get this podcast on iTunes and some other platforms, but until then, you can find it on the city's Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you.